So it's 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and I'm up early this morning. I've been up for a couple hours getting things prepared for some, we have a real high or extreme fire danger today. We've got the worst possible conditions. It's been really hot in the 100 degrees range for the last week or so. Everything's really dry. We haven't seen rain for a while, and we've had real severe lightning strikes all night all around here. So I don't see any signs of smoke coming up, but what typically happens is the lightning can strike in the evening time, start a smoldering fire, but the humidity and the temperatures are down, so it won't do a whole lot. But as soon as that sun comes up and that humidity, that relative humidity drops, these fires can really take off and spread quickly. So I'm putting together a kind of a fast attack fire suppression system for the truck, and just initially getting things together right now, but I'll share with you what I've chosen and some of the reasons why. A few years back in Colorado, I was not only a wildland firefighter, but a structural firefighter. I fought forest fires in the summertime, and then I had a job as a structural firefighter. I was an engineer for in-town structural stuff. So I have some experience with fire suppression, especially in wildland. So here before you are the basic components of a fire suppression system. This can be truck mounted, trailer mounted, or something you could just carry and drop down into a pond. We've got the intake hose there, 2-inch. We've got an excellent Honda WH20X high pressure pump. We've got a 90 GPM fog or spray nozzle. We've got 200 feet of 1.5-inch single jacketed hose, and the reducers for the 2 to 1 to 1.5 inch for the pump, and then a screened intake. So here's the 25 feet of the intake hose, and then the screened inlet. The reason for the inlet is this is not a trash pump. In other words, it's not a pump that's designed to handle dirty water that's got gravel and rocks and things into it. It's got to have clean water, and this screen here will prevent anything that's too large going through the pump that might destroy the impeller. So if I need to back up and draft, when I say draft, that means to suck water from a water supply into the tank in the back of the truck, I can throw this in any number of one of our retention ponds or the swimming pool or wherever I can find a water supply, and I can draft water into the pump, fill up the tank on the truck. And this screen, that's the reason for that. The intake hose itself is 2-inch, and intake hose is always rigid. You can see, right, it's non-collapsible. Supply line, the line that will come out the other end that will go to the fire nozzle, can be flat because it's pressurized, but this has a vacuum in it, so you can't use that flat hose. As the pump draws water into the impeller, it would suck this dry, it would squish this down, and it would starve the pump. So the reason why the rigid hose is because of that. 25 feet of length gives me, most likely, I can back the truck up to the pool or to a water supply. It gives me enough range where I can access the water. Also, what's nice about this particular pump, it will lift pretty high. So you can, it will pull a prime on its own. It'll prime itself at 26 feet. So if your water supply is below the truck or the tank level, or excuse me, the pump level, it will actually lift that water up 26 feet. That's the maximum, but it will do it. And that's really nice, because it's oftentimes when you have a water supply in the back of your truck, and you're sucking from a stream or a creek or a pond, it's going to be down there a ways. So that's a nice feature to have. So that's the suction. The pump itself is a Honda brand, just excellent. They make excellent pumps, very durable, great warranty on them. This is a 5.5 horsepower. This is one, they make 2 high pressure pumps. They make one with an 1.5 inch inlet outlet, and they make one with a 2-inch. So this is their largest one. The capability of this thing, it will lift about 130 or so feet of static head, and with a maximum pressure, I think, of 62 psi and 137 gallons a minute. So it's a pretty robust pump for what it is. It's pretty small pump for fire suppression, but it's affordable. When you start getting into really large fire pumps, 2-stage impellers, you're up in the $2,000 range at least. And this pump is more utilitarian. It can be used for a lot of other things around, and I think for what I'm using it for, it's going to be just fine. It is self-priming, which is really key for a fire pump. You don't have to fool around with it. It's got a nice carry handle. It weighs about 50 pounds, and it's got Honda's top-notch, their industrial engine, their best engine. So I think we'll see how it works, but I think it's going to be a great choice for just what I'm doing. The nozzle is a 90 gallon per minute nozzle that is adjustable, so you can have a fog or a straight spray, kind of a universal style nozzle, nothing fancy here. And then I have single jacketed 1.5-inch hose. Each roll here is 100 feet, so that gives me 200 feet. I can add to that later, but that's just where I started. 200 feet from the pool I can access anywhere around the house, and that's the main thing I'm going to worry about. And then the last thing for the system here will be the reducers. We'll be reducing from 2-inch to 1.5-inch for the hose. So these are the basic components that I have together right now. What I'll be doing in the future, well, I'll be doing some videos on it, is I'll be building a skid that will have this whole system will be put together on a kind of a heavy-duty pallet with a 300-gallon water tank and all plumbed in, so I can pull my truck in here, back up, use the forklift, set the whole thing in the back of the truck, and then I have kind of a, I call it a fast attack brush rig or fire rig that I can use to not only round up my own homestead property, but I can help neighbors, or if any of the private timberland nearby has a problem, that I can intervene there. Because if you can get it stopped quickly before it spreads, you can save millions of dollars of damage and heartache, and it's just a responsible thing to do. So for a relatively small investment, I think it's really wise. I think I could be able to put this whole kit together with a water tank and everything for under $1,500. And to me, if you live in a forested area or where there's a high possibility of fire, I think it's foolish not to have something that you can defend your home with. So that's it. That's all I had to share with you today. I'll be working on that and keeping a very close eye on weather conditions, and hopefully we won't even need this thing. When do I get? If you could only have one, I think without a question, the Stihl MS260 series. I think they've superseded it now with a 261. When Stihl makes chainsaws, they have 3 levels. They have a consumer